Welcome back to Gamer's Guide to the Galaxy. And we were just talking about Call of Duty and as a game that just won't die, or game series that just won't die, I should say.
Yeah, game series that just won't die. Yeah, we covered, you know, Call of Duty's rise and fall pretty well, I think.
Yeah.
Rise.
Yeah, call it rise.
Anyways,
Every 12-year-old out there with an Xbox.
Adam calls it Rise.
yeah, Adam calls it the Rise.
What? Can you honestly say that it? Not saying you had to say it was a great game, but could you honestly say that it wasn't a popular game that redefined
Popular
it?
does not equal great.
I did not say that.
He said there was a rise. Technically, as a statistical overview, yes, there was a rise. It did change gaming because everyone made a clone of it, and I hate the game for it. But it did create some useful things that are good, but it just has too much bad.
And there's probably a million YouTube videos of people throwing knives across the map.
Okay.
Oh my god!
Okay.
Okay.
So
now we're going to move on.
So the next one on our list is one that probably has a little bit of good and bad to it.
Fast forward. Oh wait, no, that's Final Fantasy.
Yes.
Yeah. Fast 14, we know. It's coming.
Okay. So yeah. Yes. Wait.
We're waiting.
There's like a minute to left.
Waiting. Oh.
Misread the question.
Okay. Anyways, so Final Fantasy, a game that's been around since our youth
Longer.
days.
Longer than our youth, really.
The question is really about, just to clarify this, the question is really about series that have been great, have risen, you know, been really popular, been good games, and then they've started to just ride that.
They kind of just go off the coattails of their great games and don't try to improve. Or maybe they are trying to improve, it's just not in the way that, you know, their fans like. It's going downhill.
Maybe they stick Sephiroth in every game, you know.
That's what it does, apparently.
I can see Sephiroth too.
I can see it doing it too.
His hair is going in the wind.
Oh, you know he was in every hair commercial in that world. But
And I'll go quiet again.
Yep.
Dragon.
But,
Okay.
I think for me, this one capped out at Final Fantasy VII because that's the only one I played. Actually, no, correction. I did play one recently. I played one that's an MMO. I think it's 12. That I did not like at all.
11 or 14.
14.
14.
Okay.
For me, I would say the series hit its peak around the time of 7, 8, and 9. 7, 8, and 9 were all extremely great games. 6 was really great as well.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, 7, 8, and 9 was where it was showing what the PlayStation can do. You know, so, and then 10 was great. I would put 10 up there with those games. But since then, 11 was an MMO, which I didn't care for. And then 12 and 13 did something that kind of just made it unplayable for me as a Final Fantasy game.
And 14 was an MMO twice.
Yes, but like 12 and 13, they got rid of the battle system where, you know, you strategize with what each, you know, character was going to do. And, you know, I was like, okay, if I do this with this person, this with this person, this with this person, I can get them like that and that. And you thought about this.
Yeah.
And then 12 came out, and it's like, wait, what do you mean? They have AI controlling the other characters? And then 13 came out, and it's like, oh boy, I press a button. Like, that's all you did in 13. The meter went up, you pressed the button. It did what was supposedly the best choice of actions.
Then what was the point of pressing the button? Why not just make it a movie?
I don't, because
you wouldn't pay $60 for it.
yeah, because the faster you
people
press,
would, because they put the name Final Fantasy on it.
because the faster you
Which
press
is
the
entire
button,
point.
spirits within.
I don't even know that offhand. Just like, search them.
Because it was an awful movie, but everyone saw it because it had Final Fantasy in it.
I have not seen that movie, and I would even say that.
Okay. Every major Final Fantasy fan who's played, like, you know, 90% of the game.
Ouch.
How many games have you played?
A lot of them.
Okay. And why didn't you see Spirits Within? Come on.
One.
Yeah, 7.
7.
No, I played 7. I played 8.
No, I've played.
He's played
Oh,
7.
you played 7.
I'm talking about my own personal
You
game.
played
Oh,
7.
okay. I thought you were talking about, okay.
You've played 7. You've played 8. You've played 9.
I did not play 9. I wanted to, but I haven't found it.
It's one of my favorites.
I never claimed to be a Final Fantasy expert. I say that I like the game that I played. I played 7.
Okay.
Honestly, if you're gonna play any Final Fantasy game, that would be one out.
Would be a good choice.
Yeah, 7 would be a good
6
choice.
is good though too.
6 is very good. I loved 6.
Also keep in mind, I am the youngest here. You know, when 5, 1 through 6 were out, I didn't have my own console. I was playing off my brother's console.
Yeah, good point.
So I was only allowed to play 7.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair.
So I couldn't really play the beginning. And then once I became an adult, I'm not going to go out and buy PS1 and start playing.
You can only play the game where you're cross-dressing and
Oh, yeah, just the best.
Don't forget the gay orgy.
the gay orgy, yes.
Don't forget the gay orgy.
Can't forget that.
So, just, the ones with best parental decisions.
Yeah.
Come on, bud.
It was rated T, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
good T. Gay orgies T.
Well, I wasn't sure if it was rated E, possibly. Like, maybe they slipped that through without...
Well, this was the time for the ESRB restructure, so things were getting in where they shouldn't have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it might have been E.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
E for everyone. Drop a plate on half of the city.
it wasn't half. It was an eighth. You killed an eighth of the city,
Okay.
and you apologized for it. I don't get what the problem is.
So you became President Bush?
Whoa.
Anyways.
Let's step away from the politics.
I know. It was just a joke.
Although I agree.
Step away from the politics. Yeah, no. But, I mean, yeah, I would say Final Fantasy started going downhill after the PS2 era.
Yeah.
When PS3 came out, it just they wanted to be innovative with the game, and they kind of got rid of the things that people loved about Final Fantasy games. It was the strategy and the battle system. It was the centralized story. It was
like the RPG thing.
Yeah, the whole RPG thing.
They're trying to do an RPG without the RPG.
Yeah.
And it kind of made me, after the PS1, once starting to get the PS2, I'm like, there's another one? You're not done with this yet? You kind of have that feel of, really, another one?
Yeah.
You need another one?
It is getting up there. I mean, now for the Final Fantasy series, it's going to have 15 in the main series. It's going to 10 has a sequel, 13 has 2 sequels, or 3 sequels.
3 sequels. Whoa.
3 sequels.
7 has like prequels, sequels, and a movie.
7, yeah. To get a full story of 7, you have to play the PSP prequel, followed by the original game, then watch the movie, and then play the PS2 sequel.
And then, are we counting all of the game, what is they called? PSP and handheld games?
Yes, they got remakes, and for those systems, they even made, back on Super Nintendo, they made a Final Fantasy game specifically for Americans because they thought that the original Final Fantasy game was too complicated for us. The game is called Mystic Quest.
Probably right.
The stupid American syndrome, right?
Yeah.
So pretty much what they did is they took a series, made it pretty darn good, and then was like, all right, time to get money. All of the money.
Anyone notice that clouds in every game?
No, I don't mind that because I love Cloud.
No.
Okay. In case, just so that you get some context here, Adam's computer just completely wiped down everything we just had out, and we were really paranoid that we just lost this.
Yes.
I look over and it's like, Battle.net wants to update. No, not now. Maybe later.
Streaming Battle.net. Go away.
Alright, I think that we should move on to our next one because this one's going to take a while. God.
Battle.net.
Stop
it.
Battle.net's not even open. Shut up.
So we should probably move on to our next one because this one's going to take a bit.
Yes. Sonic.
I was going to let him do it.
No, because I knew he'd be doing that alongside there for about 5 minutes.
So let's go to our resident Sonic master knowledge from this person.
Hi.
How you doing?
Every game after Sonic Adventure 2 sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to go over this?
I think Sonic Adventure 2 is a really good game. I think most of the games prior to that are really good games. I think most of the games after that suck. Sonic Heroes sucks. Sonic Heroes is a terrible, terrible game. Never get it. Don't play it. Just burn it. Buy a bunch of copies and throw it in a fire because that's more fun.
Bury them in, what was it? Like Arkansas or Arizona?
Arizona or something.
Yeah.
Bury them with the ET game.
Yeah.
The ET Atari game. Bury them with them.
But,
and then you have Sonic 2006, where it looked good at first. Until you realize that, Sonic is in a romantic relationship with the human princess, which is just weird. It's just
It's
really
weird.
Just remember.
Yeah, I know.
In Japan, that's like fan fiction. Here, that's weird fan fiction. Japan, that's normal.
But I agree with you very heavily that Avengers 2 was the final good one.
Yep.
But we do have different opinions. We were talking about this briefly on which one was the worst. And for me, that was the Werehog.
Werehog.
I don't know what the name is. I just know that it's Werehog.
It's called Sonic Unleashed.
Unleashed, yeah.
It's terrible what they did to him in that game.
Oh yeah, I agree. I still think Heroes is worse.
I saw the.
I agree.
But when you're not making noise, you're making noise.
Here's my argument about Heroes. Aside from the fact that the concept is stupid. Well, the original concept was great. The original concept was 3-player co-op.
Yeah.
Which would have been amazing.
That would have been amazing.
And then they realized that, gee, we set a release date and we're not ready. We're not actually done with this game. So I guess we're going to change the mechanic to be one player plays as 3 characters because that makes sense. Yeah, totally.
And that's when they had they stood in line, all went around, they kind of just like tagged in and tagged out.
There's that, and also there's a blatant lack of QA. No quality assurance went into this game, or if any quality assurance went into the game, it was like one person playing through one time, because I don't know how many times I go over loop-de-loops and just die instantly.
Yeah, that happened a lot.
That should not happen. There are levels that actually take away an emblem and then give you an emblem. So you can't actually get all the emblems technically. But they fixed it by lowering the how many emblems you're supposed to get. So that's how they fixed that. Rather than actually fixing the issue.
Yeah.
They just set the goal lower. So they must have known about it. They must have known about the issue.
Yeah.
Because they did set the goal lower. Multiplayer mode is so laggy.
I didn't know there was a multiplayer mode.
There is a multiplayer mode.
Never played it.
Good.
You gotta like sacrifice a chicken to the gods of Cthulhu.
It's not even that. Like the multiplayer mode, you play multiplayer mode and your characters are just moving like it's visibly laggy. It's not just laggy.
You actually see Sonic's legs.
You actually see the frames.
Oh,
it's that bad. Particularly on Xbox version. I don't know why that is. It just happens to be the case.
Probably because of the Microsoft Server authentication.
Something, but
I know that causes the frame lag on a lot of things.
But I mean, it's on it's on everything, but particularly on that one.
See, the reason why I say that I don't know that one's the worst is because Knuckles is still Knuckles. He still has a neck and is brawlic and doesn't just do butterflies all day. In case you don't know what we're talking about, at some point, they gave Knuckles all the steroids, and he went to the gym, and he just saw one machine, and he just did this, because he's got gigantic arms, chest, and traps, and that's it. He's got no neck.
They're doing a reboot. They're releasing a new cartoon. That makes like cartoon number 5, 5th cartoon.
Oh, it makes game number like what, 41?
No, more than 40. I counted 40. I know I missed some.
Yeah, okay.
I counted 40 games
before the show
began. I know there's more than that I'm missing.
And that's something that has to be said, is that this is a series that has way too many
Sonic
games.
Triple Trouble, 41.
Yeah.
Sonic Chaos, 42. Okay.
Now we're up to 42. We got stopped. That's perfect.
Yeah.
But there's something to be said where you
for our show too.
Yeah. So that you have 42 games. One, not all those are good. You know right off the bat when you say there's 42 games in a series, they're not good.
No.
2, you are now just trying to make money.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because that's more than a game a year. You know what I mean? This is in what, 20 years?
Yeah.
So that's at least 2 games a year, and there was years where there wasn't a release.
Started in 90, so yeah, it's right around there.
24 years, well, roughly.
You know what I mean? So it's roughly 2 a year. There's no way that you can have a development cycle that short and have a game.
Oh no.
No, not at all.
And that's back when, in the 90s where they made one main flag and then one suck. And then what they started to do is, I think what happened is instead of making that one main Sonic game, the other crappy ones where you bought it anyway because it was Sonic, they just kind of try to make all of them equally good. So that way you buy them all and think they're all the same friend, same level of goodness.
Right.
Which kind of just went from good to back down.
But unfortunately, once I hit Sonic Adventures 2, you can see a steady decline.
Oh, yeah.
Well, not really steady anymore. It's kind of dropped off the map in 2006, but
The other problem with just the Sonic universe in general is it makes no sense. There is no consistent story to the Sonic universe.
Mm-hmm.
well,
It's just Sonic.
I
beating
feel
up
like
Eggman.
I feel like it's almost like a reboot every few games. Would you say that Sonic 2, Sonic 3, and Knuckles were all the same story pretty much? Or?
I'm pretty sure that Sonic Adventure was supposed to follow Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles. Those were all one story.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is absolutely for sure. And Sonic Adventure followed that, Sonic Adventure 2 followed that.
Mm.
Because they all reference previous games.
And
then they just sort of departed.
Now, for you, because I know you're a big Sonic fan, I'm going to ask you as well. Dr. Robotnik or Eggman?
Dr. Robotnik. That's his name. Dr. Ivo Robotnik.
Yep.
That is his name.
Also, 43, Dr. Robotnik's BB machine. Sonic game.
Kinda.
He makes an appearance. So does Tails and Knuckles.
Sonic does not make an appearance, and neither does Tails and Knuckles.
Yes, he does. They
Where?
dance. They dance at the top.
No, they don't.
They do. I've done it. I've seen it. I've played this game immensely.
I have not seen Sonic, Tails, or Knuckles dance at the top.
It's only Sonic and Tails.
And
no
I've,
dance.
I've beaten.
I've been that game every time.
I don't.
We'll find out. Anyways.
I'm
But,
gonna have to challenge you on that later.
Oh god, they're gonna play a Sonic meme being challenged.
oh my goodness, we should totally do that.
Stream it, yeah.
But, I think, and that's also a big thing, is because that becomes a gigantic split in the Sonic universe of Eggman and Dr. Robotnik.
Well, there's the other thing about the cartoons.
Mhm.
Mean Bean Machine is following the storyline of the. It's not even
The
following the storyline of the games. It's following the storyline of
The
The
Adventures
Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yep.
And if you watch Nostalgia Critic, Land of the Shitty Bricks.
Land of no backgrounds.
Yeah.
None whatsoever.
And then you have Sonic Spinball,
Yeah.
on the other hand, which is following the storyline of Sonic Saturday AM. Kinda.
Roughly.
Kinda.
To be fair-
Loosely.
To be fair, it is a pinball game.
And that's the thing, is they have these loosely assorted things. Associated, thank you. Where it's like, they're like, hey, it's Sonic, but he's not playing Sonic.
Well, I mean, the only reason I know what that Spinball is associated with that particular storyline is Rotor makes an appearance, Princess Sally makes an appearance.
Yep.
Characters that don't occur any other time make an appearance in this game.
Which is actually raises another question. Why don't they make a game for Saturday AM?
I don't know. Why don't they?
Because I feel like that'd be a great way to make a good Sonic game with a good story, and then finish the story of Saturday AM.
Because they rejected that storyline. Oh, which of course Archie Comics continued that particular storyline.
Oh, okay.
So you have that story, and that story is still going on. Like that comic, I believe, still exists to this day. It existed as of like 3 years ago. I know that much. Last I actually saw one being sold. So you've got that storyline. You just got so many storylines, and then you got Sonic X. What the hell?
We're just not going to talk about it.
I hate that series. Mostly because the main human character is named Chris, and that just annoys me.
You're prejudiced against Chris's.
I have a prejudice against Chris's that act like stupid pussies.
Okay. Fair enough.
He does. He's like.
Is he the damsel in distress character of the show?
He fights with Amy first. Like there's okay. You don't. It follows the storyline of Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2, and in it, there's in those games there's Amy Rose, who sort of plays the damsel in distress character. The character Chris steals a bunch of her roles in the storyline. It's just really weird because Sonic's like rescuing this person, this kid, this little boy,
So
who's like 10 years old.
So pretty much what this is, it's
How old is Sonic?
It's Sonic 2006, but with a tiny child.
Yeah, that's what I'm suggesting. Yes.
Let's just get off this whole topic. Like,
Sonic X does not exist. It does not exist.
So
then somehow they, he gets older, but then goes, Chris character gets older, but then ends up going through a rift into Sonic's world, and somehow turns into being 10 years old again.
Well, it's like Narnia.
That's like a typical anime, I guess, but
It's like Narnia. You can go and you can live a long life in Narnia, and then come back and you'll be like 2 seconds older. It'd be great.
I think we should probably get off Sonic because we've been on this for a while, and it gets really convoluted real quick. So the next,
I could do an entire.
I know. You can do an entire show.
You could do an entire marathon.
No, like I'm talking about the
I
entire
can do an entire
series.
Entire series. You can just start at Sonic 1 and just go.
We can have at least 42 episodes.
So what we did on this next topic is we bunched a bunch of common ones together, which is Tekken, Street Fighter, and Mortal Kombat. Now,
you can also add things like Dead or Alive in there too.
Finish him.
I had that song. Anyways, so a lot of these games, we're on what, Tekken like 4000?
Something like that.
Alright. There's the same formula rinse and repeat over and over again. And while, there's nothing wrong with that, they just they lose their appeal to me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Although, the only one that I think is keeping appeal is Mortal Kombat to me.
Yes, I would agree with that. I'll be honest, I was a little disappointed with the last game, because after Armageddon, which had like 60 some odd characters, the ability to create your own character and everything, to come back to a Mortal Kombat game that's actually just Mortal Kombat, no DC universe in there. I'm not saying that was a bad game. I'm just saying to come back to an actual Mortal Kombat game, and for them to have rebooted the entire thing and gotten rid of a lot of characters, and they kept the core characters, which is great, but there's characters I was kind of liked in Armageddon that they're missing.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. It feels limited. You feel like, where's all these characters I've grown to know?
Yeah.
You know what else we can fit in there? Probably?
What?
Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur, yes.
Soul Calibur does fit underneath this umbrella. I think from the one on the GameCube where you can play as a Link, since that one declined.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that one started to decline. Great game, but it had elements that started this whole stuff, the whole decline.
Just remember, on the Soul Calibur 4, I think it was PS3 got Darth Vader and Xbox 360 got Yoda.
Yeah.
And Yoda was impossible to kill because everything went over his head.
Yeah, you kept swinging at him, and Yoda was just sitting there like, hey, I'm down here.
You better learn how to low kick.
Oh, sorry. Down here. Hey.
No, it's down here I am.
Yes. Hey.
Down here I am. Hey.
So, but for me, I think the other ones kind of just do a rinse and repeat. It became bland for me. I like the new graphics, and when I would like to play those games, it's nice to have the updated graphics, but I'd rather play Mortal Kombat than any of the rest. And that's because, one, they have actually really good spin-off games. Shaolin Monks was one of the better games that I've played.
Yeah, Shaolin Monks was actually a lot of fun, especially after you beat it and you could go back and replay as
Scorpion Sub-Zero.
Oh, yeah.
But I really liked playing as Liu Kang and Kung Lao.
Liu Kang and Kung Lao.
Thank you.
Liu Kang.
Liu Kang.
Liu Kang.
I was trying to remember Kung Lao's name.
Yeah.
And I just remember.
Yeah, it was fun playing it. They had great, combos and everything. They had great fatalities in that game. That was something that was really great about it.
That, and also I remember playing with my next door neighbor, and we had gotten to such a synergistic point where he knew where my combos were going, and it was a lot of fun to be with somebody in that kind of experience.
Yeah, I've had the same thing like that. Yeah, and we've gone back and we've played it in all. We played in all combinations you can have. We did Liu Kang, Kung Lao, we did Scorpion Sub-Zero, and then we mixed and matched those.
So I think Mortal Kombat is, out of all the ones that we've played so far, is the one that's reclaimed its glory. And it went down that path where for a while it was looking weak, and then they did what they had to do. They reassessed, they rebooted it, and now it's good. feels a little limited
I-
because of the roster changes, but
Yeah,
still
I
good.
think they actually did something very daring with the Deadly Alliance Annihilation Armageddon storyline. They killed Liu Kang in the very first game
Then it brought back. I'll forget.
as a zombie, but they killed him off in the first game, which is amazing to see something do. To kill off your, franchise's face, not even in like the story, in the intro. You're not even playing yet.
Mhm.
You watch him die because of this Deadly Alliance. That was the whole point of the game. But I think that's actually kind of bold for a company to do. Is say, okay, we need to do something. The games are getting repetitive. What can we do? I got an idea.
You know what game did something bold? Sonic Adventure 2, killing off Shadow the Hedgehog. And then
Oh my
We're not going back. We got to keep our own table. We got to go.
we
Keep it going.
Bring it back.
We're actually out of time.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
So we may come back to this at some point. There are a bunch more games that
Yes,
we can list.
and there probably will be more added to our list over
Still
time.
talk about Sonic.
And we're no.
No,
No.
never forget.
If you want, do your own show by yourself at your place.
We don't have time for this.
You can sit in front of your computer and scream obscenities into the camera about
I
Sonic.
was very
These kids are
careful
funny.
with my obscenities. I had a lot more that I could have given.
Oh God.
I think I did like 2. Which is
2.5.
2.5. 2.5? Okay.
I'll call it 1.5.
2.5.
But anyways,
Well, anyways,
much better than certain people
special
last
best Trudy.
and Ruby says the show is over. That's why she came over.
So thanks for
So,
watching.
Thank you for watching. Good night, everybody.
Bye. Bye. Enjoy the music.
Like this.